Hey guys, Anthony here, and welcome to Quick Shock. I wore the Battlefield Friends shirt on a Call of Duty story. Oh, he's biased. So yes, hey guys, we're going to talk a little bit about Call of Duty today because there's been a lot of Call of Duty news since Ghost just came out. And you know what, I'm accused a lot of being biased because, you know, the Battlefield Friends and everything. And I mean, of course, we all play Battlefield. I'm going to be slightly biased towards a certain game over the other. I do try to look at the general consensus of the gaming community. You know, people I talk to get opinions from other people. And I address that when that's an issue. But overall, in the gaming industry, Call of Duty is not looked upon as favorably as other games or as it once was. So, you know, coming out and say, oh, Call of Duty is the best game ever, there's a lot of people who would go against you on that one. Anyways, just want to talk a little bit about some of the news about Call of Duty Ghosts that just came out recently. The game, of course, launched, and Activision said they sold $1 billion worth of Call of Duty Ghosts. That's the money they made on that. That's how many they sold. They made $1 billion. That's not exactly true. The $1 billion that, you know, they leave this out a lot of the times, you know, to make it look better, like, ooh, look, we sold $1 billion worth. They sold $1 billion worth of Call of Duty Ghosts to retailers. So that doesn't exactly mean that people have bought the games yet. That means they've sold it to like Best Buy, GameStop, but they're still sitting on shelves. So they're kind of fucking with you in the numbers a little bit to make it look like it's selling better. Honestly, I don't blame them because things aren't looking too good right now for Ghosts. Since the game came out, reviews have been pretty, you know, average. And that's saying a lot considering most of the time these games are, you know, like 9s and 9.5s and stuff like that, even though they do the same shit every year. Even game trailers, who I swear to God, Activision must pay off every single fucking year, except for this year because they actually gave it a 7.0, which is unheard of for game trailers because I swear to God they're getting paid off. And as of this recording, the Metacritic score for the game is only a 74, which is pretty low considering the other entries in the series, and it's been slowly declining ever since Call of Duty 4. So what does this signify? Is this a downturn for the Call of Duty series? Things have changed since 4, and a lot of people are complaining that Call of Duty Ghosts, I haven't played it yet, so I'm not commenting on the game myself, but a lot of people are complaining that, you know, the game just stays too safe and doesn't try anything new. I will give it to the Treyarch guys that they have tried new things with Black Ops 2, even though, in my opinion, some of that didn't work. At least they're trying new, and people say Ghost is way too similar. Then a few things about the next-gen version of the game came out. Supposedly, the Xbox One version of the game will only be running at 720p and will be upscaled to 1080, while the PS4 is running at a full 1080p. So already, with this one game, you can see a difference between the two consoles. Now, I'm not going to say that it marks it, because honestly, it's probably more on the developer side, and the fact that they're using a 10-year-old engine on their game to try and make it next gen. Supposedly the reason is they couldn't get 60 frames a second out of the Xbox One without bumping it down to 720p, while 1080p on the PS4 was fine. And which is pretty interesting because the very beginning of the last console generation, it was, you know, PS3 below the Xbox, and now it's kind of switched. Wait to see if more games are like that and more third-party games are like that, but it could be an interesting switch. Then also, while we're on the subject of graphics, I just wanted to point you guys to a quick video I saw online comparing Call of Duty Ghosts on the PS3 to the PS4, you know, current gen to next gen. And watching the video, it's surprising how similar they are. But that's not really a compliment to the developers that they got, you know, all the stuff from next gen Ghost on the current gen. It's just that they ported over the current gen over to the next gen. I mean, if you watch this, here's a little clip of the gameplay footage. I don't know about you guys, please let me know what you think below, but this is not what I'm looking for in a next gen experience. I mean, you look at the difference between Battlefield 4 on current gen and Battlefield 4 on next gen, it is a huge jump. And while these two, Call of Duty Ghosts on both systems, you know, there's obviously lighting differences and small things like that, but nothing really game-changing, nothing really big about the difference between these two consoles. There's almost no reason to get the next-gen version of Call of Duty Ghosts. You know, if that's the game you're getting your console for, it's not really a system seller because you can get almost the same experience on a current-gen console, while Battlefield 4 has 64 players, 60 frames a second, that kind of stuff. And speaking of frames per second, little side story, Killzone released a trailer that couldn't go on to like YouTube or anything. They released this small clip, and I'll put a link in the description below to it. It's just a quick gameplay clip, but it was such a high frame rate that they couldn't upload it online. And watching it, it's so weird. Like, my eyes aren't used to it yet, and it looks like everything's sped up, but it's just the game running at such a high frame rate on the PS4. It's amazing. I mean, hell, the game's right here. I want to play the fucking game, and I can't figure out how to play the game. I have it, but I can't do anything with it. But this thing here is running at a very high frame rate. Go watch that clip, it's neat. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about some of the stuff going on with Call of Duty. Let me know what you guys think below about, you know, the 720p versus 1080p on the PS4, or even the differences between the current gen and next gen versions. Do you expect more from a next gen title? Let me know, and I'll see you guys next time.